So today's topic is about exception, okay, which is in fourth unit, exception. So here, exception, okay. So this is a chapter, exception. So exception is an abnormal condition in a program code, okay. So it is an error that happens during execution of program. So exception is what? Abnormal condition in the program code. So you can say that it is an error that happens during the execution of program. Exceptions are convenient in a many ways for handling errors and special condition in a program. If we think there is a possibility of error in our code, then we can use exception handling. Okay. Also, we can raise the exception in our own program by using the raise exception statement. Okay, then rising exception breaks current code execution and returns the exception back until it is handled. If we want to transfer the control of execution or to some other block, then we can raise the exception. Java defines several exception classes inside the standard package java.language. Java has many built-in exceptions which forces your program to output an error. When something in a it goes wrong, when this exception occurs, it causes the current process to stop and paste to the calling process until it handled. If not handled, your program will crash. For example, if function A, okay, A calls function B, which in turn calls function C, and an exception occur in function C. Okay, if function A function A call the function B, okay, which in turns call function C, and an exception occur in function C. If it is not handled in C, the exception pass to B and then to A. So exception hierarchy is there. Okay, let's draw this. So hierarchy of the exception here. So for this, let's draw first the hierarchy. Okay, you know familiar about object. No need to explain the meaning of object, right? Here object there. Then throwable. Then exception. Then just let me take this. Exception after error. And check exception. Exception. Then uncheck exception. Then virtual machine. So this is diagram of exception hierarchy. Okay, virtual machine. Then assertion error. Just 1 minute. Okay, so here we have to give the connection first. Object is connected to this. Then we can take this arrow here. Then we take this. This table is connected to these both. Okay, then this exception is connected to the here and in uncheck. Okay, then error is connected to the this and this. Okay, so this is about your hierarchy of exceptions diagram in hierarchy of this exception. So all exception and errors types are subclasses of trouble, which is base class of hierarchy. One branch is head by exception. This class is used to exceptional condition that user program should catch. So in this you can see the object you know very well now here throwable there exception error. So the throwable class in the subclass of all errors and exception in Java language. So this is all in errors in Java means this is the class is a subclass of all. This is a subclass of error and exception. So you can say this is a root of this both exception and error, right? You can see here this is the main, then it's divided. This both divided, right? This sub part of this. So throwable class is you can say that just first try to make the means try to understand how we can uh, write this point in the theory part. So object, you know very well what is the object. No need to you have studied in database structures, C and many languages. So now I explain you object. And throwable is first of all you have to write that this is a root of exception and error. You can write like this also here. So the throwable class is the subclass of all errors and exception. You can say because you can see here right in Java language only object that are instance of the class or one of the subclass, right? You can see here in this diagram only are thrown by the Java virtual machine or can be thrown by the Java throw statement. So throwable class is the root class of Java exception hierarchy and is inherited by two subclasses like exception and error. So you know about error means an exception. Let's discuss that also. So error is there. So you know you have to understand that this is a subclasses of both. Okay, and this is the root of this hierarchy here. Okay, so you can see this an object that are the instance of the class. Okay, this is the instance of the class and this is the root of this all. Okay, so here two subclass there. This is subclass of both exception and error. So error, an error indicates serious problem that a reasonable application should not try to catch. Both errors and exception are the subclasses of Java language throwable class. Errors are the condition which cannot get recovered by any handling technique. It surely cause terminate of the program abnormally. Errors belong to the unchecked type and mostly occur at runtime. Some of the example of errors out of memory error or system crash error, right? Then an exception, an exception indicates a condition that a reasonable application might want to catch. Okay, so here yeah, got it about error here means what I said that indicates serious problem that a reasonable application should try catch. Both error exception are subclass of Java language throwable class. Errors are condition which cannot get recovered by handling techniques, right? So here what means just 1 minute. So where we are. Okay, so here what I said exception, right? So an exception having this means error, sorry. So errors are the condition which cannot get recovered by handling techniques. Okay, this is error. So it surely cause terminate of the program abnormally, and it surely cause terminate of program abnormally, and error belongs to unchecked type and mostly occur at runtime. Some of the example of errors are out of memory error or system crash error. So exception, so exceptions indicates condition that reasonable application might want to catch. So exception are the condition that occur at runtime and may cause the terminate of program, but they are recovered using try, catch, and throwable keywords. Exception are divided into two categories: check and uncheck. Check exception like IO exception known to the compile at compile time. Check means compile at compile time, while uncheck exception like array index out of bound exception. Uncheck exception like IO exception. So uncheck, that is a array index out of bound exception known to the compile at runtime. Compiler at the runtime. It mostly caused by the program written by the programmers. Okay. So here, check exception is a class that extend towards class except runtime and error are known as a check exception. Example: IO exception and SQL exception and so on. Check exception are checked at the compile time, and check exception here. The exception mean the classes that extend runtime exception are known as a unchecked exception. Example: arithmetic exception, null point exception, array inbox index out of bound exception, and so on. And check exception are not checked at the compile time, rather they are checked at runtime. Then errors. Errors are exceptions, means that are out of scope of application and it's not possible to anticipate and recover from them. Example: hardware failure, JVM crash, means a virtual machine crash, you can say, out of memory error. That's why we have separate hierarchy of errors and we should not try to handle this situation. Some of common errors are out of memory error and stack overflow error. So catching Java exception here. One minute. Okay, catching Java exception. Catching Java exception. So a method catch an exception using, just a minute, using combination of the try and catch keywords. Java try block is used to enclose the code that might throw an exception. It must be used within the method. Java catch block is used to handle the exception. So here two keywords are using, okay, try and catch. So it must be means what here, a method catch an exception using combination of try and catch keywords. So Java try block, okay, is used to unclose the code that might throw an exception. It must be used within the method. And Java catch block is used to handle the exception. It must be used after the try block. Okay, so catch is used after the try block. A try and catch block is placed around the code that might generate an exception. So syntax of this syntax like try, then always try catch is come after the try, right? So here it should be any statement, right? Then close it, sorry. Then catch block. So you have try your exception, their object, then open, and here again write the statement. Writing like this STOK, that is statement, and close. So this is about the syntax of the catch extra exception. So follow the catch block. If exception occur in try block, then the control of execution is passed to the catch block from try block. The exception is caused up by a corresponding catch block. A single try block can have multiple catch statements associated with it, but each catch block can be defined for only one exception class. The program can also contain nested try catch finally block. Okay, after exception of means after exception of all try blocks and code inside the finally block execute, it is not mandatory or to include a finally block, okay, at all. But if you do, it will run regardless of whether an exception was thrown and handled by the try and catch block. So example of the exception is like, let's take go for example. So we will give here public class, public class t demo. Okay, t demo. Then we know the public static void meaning, right? Public static void main string args. Then try, then in data that is equal to 50 above 50 divide 0. Then close it. Then catch every, this is the arithmetic. So here we write catch in the parameter arithmetic exception. Okay, arithmetic exception, that is E. Okay, then again open system out print statement. For using, we are using this syntax, we know very well, right? Println. Then here object of E arithmetic exception. Then close it, and close it. Okay, then let's save this program. Okay, so we have saved this program with tdemo. Okay, so let's run this program. You know how to save now, right? Now, so this is a command. Something mistake here, sorry. I give the slash, then cd java, then javascript file name dot java. After this, java and file name. Get it? Okay, java that file name. So we will get like this: java the language as the exception by 0. Okay, so this is your output. Now let's move on. Catching runtime exception. So catching runtime exception here, you can say catching runtime exception. Okay, catching runtime exception, runtime exception. So here, an unchecked exception is an exception that occurs at the time of execution. These are also called runtime exception. These include programming bugs. Means this catching and runtime exception is includes the programming bugs such as logic errors. Okay, so it includes the logical errors. Then you can say or improper use of API. Means if you're not writing proper code, then it also shows. Then runtime exception are ignored at time of completions. For example, if you have declared any size, means array of size 5. Okay, if you have declared array size of 5 in your program and trying to call the sixth element, means you are declaring 5 and you trying to call 6 of the array, then array in the inbox out of exception occurs. Matlab, array index out of box when occur when if you giving you set the 5 element array in your code and you trying to call 6 through output, then it will be occur. So let's take the example and you will get better. So here let's take your class, then PR7, then public static void. Okay, then string arg, then int number. So this is a what? Just 1 minute. Let me write this code first. So what I said, if here if means if you have declared an array of size 5, okay, in your program, and you're trying to call the 6, so you know this is the array size, how much, this is a 4. Okay, so I'm trying to call fifth element, okay, through this system out println exam println num. Okay, so I'm trying to call the here fifth. Okay, but we having only 4, but I'm calling fifth for output. So shall we get? No, why? I will get the exception in thread main java array index out of bounds. Let's run, then we will get the output. So here I'm trying to calling the 5, and I having only 4 array elements in array, right? So let's run it first, then we will get the output. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's correct this, then we will run again. You can see what I said, the example what we've taken, that if you have a declaration array 5, and we have declaration array 4. 1 minute. Okay, in our program here, but we are trying to call the fifth element here. Okay, so this is about the runtime exception, so it will show the error. Which one error? Error in index out of bound exception error show. Why? Because I calling 5, but I having 4 element and I'm trying to call 5. So let's run this program, then you will get better. Okay, so let's go to command. If you're having problem into how to run and all, then you can contact me. Okay, you all are having my WhatsApp number. Okay, then I think so. So now let's go to the, sorry, I forgot to call desktop because I always I save in desktop, so need to call जहाँ भी save किया, right? Then program name. Oh sorry, my mistake. CD Java. Then the program name is 7.java. Okay. Okay, now program name, file name. See now. See this error occur. Why? Because we're calling the extra one element. So here it's calling like this: exception array index out of box exception. Okay, the index 5 out of bounds for length 4 for length here, right? So and I'm calling this one, so it's like this error are occur. So this is about your catching runtime exception. Okay, now let's move on next. Handling multiple exception here. So now to handling the multiple exception, handling multiple exception. Okay, multiple exception. So here for perform the different tasks. Okay, so to perform the different tasks at the means for performing different tasks at the occurring of different exception, we need to use Java multi-catch block. A try block can have any number of catch block. A catch block that return a catching class exception and can catch all the other exceptions. So handling multiple exception here. So here let's go for example. Okay, then just 1 minute. Okay, let's go to the example. So here, okay, then okay, I having already this example. Let's directly take from here. See, I already type for you this all having this one. Okay, let's copy this program because now you know very well about programs and all, right? How to save, how to do, right? Let's run then. Okay, program name is PS76. Just 1 minute. Save it. It's already there, so we have to write here extra one means to save the program. Right. Okay. You can see here the in y10. Okay, in v is the y try in x2 and b minus a0. This is the mathematical type expression, then arithmetic expression. Okay, so you have to solve by yourself because you have studied math and all, right? So this is system arithmetic divided by 0. Then catch array inbox exception. I show you already inbox how occur this, right, in my previous example only. So here array error. So let's run this program. Okay, so this is about mathematical exception. So program name dot Java. Okay, if it again inbox we have passed, if what types of error are occur, let's see. Okay, because we are working on C array error 2, something missing, yeah, something we taking extra which is not there here, so it's array error 2 is show here. This is your output. Okay, now let's see the finally clause there here. The Java finally block is a code place that is used to execute important code such as closing condition stream. Okay, Java finally block is always execute when exception is handled or not. Java finally block is block follow try or catch. Means here finally close is there. It is using the try and catch block which we have studied previous time only. Means just minute before minute. So here some 1 minute. So here, Java finally block is a code place that is used to execute important code such as closing connection, stream, and so on. So Java finally block is always execute whether exception is handled or not. Okay, Java finally block is flow, try, or catch block. So here this example is there. So that is you can see int we have passing the 5 and 10 in array, then b again, right? Okay, this is similar to previous one example only, right? So here int we then catch arithmetic exception we have passed, then again divided 0, then here we passed in catch array in out of bound exception, right? Out of bound exception after the system array error. So here then finally here we increase that. So this is similar to the previous one only. Here we increase this one statement. So let's run this program. So this is about mathematical expression. Means whatever is given is output will be give. Why you have to calculate yourself means here in through coding is given. So if you want to find a real output, then you have to do by yourself mathematical types. So no need to do. Just see here. This is some formulas applied and uh, let's go for output. So here just for showing the example is given here only, nothing that. Okay, something did wrong. I forgot to again write desktop here, otherwise I have to take again. Let's move to new command prompt. This one irritated me. Okay, so then don't forget, if you save your folder on desktop, then try to give name desktop only. Okay, first, otherwise you will be also come like this situation. Then where you save your program, which folder, that is Java I save. Then particular folder name, your program name, and for running extension Java. Then after, if it is error free, then it will be compiled. After completion, we will get the error free or not. Yeah, we got the output here, error on this. Okay, like this error occurs. See, error array done, array error done. So this is about your throw exception. Okay, so then next point is the throw clause. A Java throw keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception. We can throw either check or uncheck exception in Java. By throw keyword, the throw keyword is mainly used to throw custom exception. We will see the custom exception later. The syntax of Java throw is given like throw exception, throw new means. Let's see the example of throw exception, like throw new IO exceptions, then sorry device error. So here what to say, here throw and throws given. The Java throw keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception and throws. Java throws keyword is used to declare an exception. Here throw and throws is given. Okay, throw and throw. So throw used for check the exception cannot program it using throw only, and check exception can be programmed with throw. Throw is the followed by an instance and throws is followed by class. Throw is used within the method and throws is used within the method signature. You cannot throw multiple exception and you can declare multiple exception. Example, public void method, throws, IO exception, SQL exception. Okay, so this is about your exception. Okay.